Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'll wait till more people come in to say all this. Who has some good news? Anyone have anything cool happen to them yesterday, or um, anyone got a new client? Anyone want to share what they're grateful for?
I want to share what I'm grateful for, if that's possible.
Yeah, please.
I am grateful for you, Bill. I'm grateful for Keller Williams. I'm grateful for this day and what God has coming before us.
Love it. Love it. It's we take for granted a lot of things a lot of times. So we always start our leadership huddle off with what we're grateful for. So feel free anytime you want to share, let's share. Okay, thank you for sharing. Anyone else got any thoughts on their mind? All right, let's go through some housekeeping real fast. First of all, on an email newsletter yesterday, Melody sent out, there is a series of classes that Sam is teaching. Those are, I sent them out in the announcements, I'm sorry, in the help WhatsApp group yesterday. Those are from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock on next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, and the following Tuesday. Okay. I know one of those is going to partially overlap with 3612.3. I think honestly, I would probably go back and watch the 3612.3, right? It's hard, you can't do everything all at once, obviously. I want you guys to be present for those sessions. The one on Tuesday, the 8th, will be on contracts. And the one on the 15th will be opportunities. And the one on the 22nd will be on the consumer experience. That's basically the app. Okay.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that consumer experience, that's the learning the app more.
Yeah, basically it's not just the app. It's basically the Command's got kind of almost two faces, if you will. There's the what does Command do for the real estate agent to bring in leads, to manage the transactions, to manage smart plans and communication strategies and that kind of stuff. But it also goes forward through the mobile app and neighborhood nurtures and that kind of stuff, so that you can make, and it's all integrated, right? So you can send out a neighborhood nurture, and all of a sudden somebody's got somebody's making, searching in areas that they're not used to searching in. And you could say, hey, I noticed that you're starting to search in homes in, West Cobb. Is that an area that you want me to help you, do some research in? Is there a home that you found that you'd like to see? Are you no longer interested in a certain area, right? Is anything changed that I should be aware of? So it's the consumer, that's what the consumer experience is. So just as a reminder, yesterday, guys, I sent out a message in the PC help group that has 3 consecutive Tuesdays, starting this upcoming Tuesday from 3 to 4. Sam's going to do 3 different workshops, one on contracts, one on opportunities, and one on the consumer experience. Okay. Next Tuesday, next Thursday, the 10th, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Gene Rivers is going to be teaching the listing clinic. I highly recommend that you go to the listing clinic. Okay. There is nothing more important that you could do with your day than hang out with Gene Rivers and learn about taking more listings.
What is this? What is this?
This is on the newsletter that we send out each week, or each day, I'm sorry. And this is the listing clinic with Gene Rivers. It's December 10th from 9 to 4. Okay.
I'm on opportunity desk at that time. Is that preclusive of my going to that?
I'm going to say no, and don't ask anyone else.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a quick question, if we can backtrack just a minute, Bill,
Yeah.
with the command with the classes with Sam. I
Yes.
signed up for a class and did a little questionnaire for a class he did last week. I would never receive the link to take that class.
I don't know what that's about. So you sent out a questionnaire and you were expecting a link and didn't get one?
No, I clicked on to sign up for a class, a command class that he was teaching.
Yeah.
It asked me a couple of questions. How long have I been a real estate agent? How many houses? It asked me a little questionnaire, filled that out. And at the bottom of it, it said that something about they will be in contact. I never received a link and nothing at all. So I wasn't able to take the course.
Sam uses some like weird platform. Like every time I try to get on to do his thing, it's like, thank you. It's like a countdown clock. And then like I have yet to be able to access his stuff. Honestly,
I'll call Sam today and we're going to work on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to help get that fixed. Okay.
Yeah, I second her thing there.
Okay, cool. So thank you for sharing that. Anytime you guys got something strange is going on, let me know. I know all these people. I'll call them. We'll figure it out. Okay. Okay. Gene Rivers, do not miss that. It is $19. It'll be the best $19 you've ever spent. Okay. Okay. Next. Should I offer something? How about if you take a listing in the 1 month after this class, so from December 10th to January 10th, if you take a listing, I'll pay for your class. Okay? Fair?
Yes, thank you.
All right. No problem. Okay, next, 2 o'clock today. 2 o'clock today, Andy Peters, I hope all of us know who Andy is. He's the operating partner of this market center and the Chattahoochee North Market Center in Norcross, or Peachtree Corners basically, and the Alpharetta Market Center, is doing a PC productivity coaching, basically mastermind with all of the productivity coaching students from all the offices and all the coaches. So what we're going to do is, I don't exactly know the forum, but I think it's going to be an opportunity to hear Andy's advice and strategy. There'll probably be some Q&A. There'll probably be some, people can vocalize, recommendations, these kind of things. It'll be a learning experience for all of us. I'd love to have a great turnout from our group. So that's 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock today. Okay, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock today. It is a separate link. I sent that link out yesterday. Does anyone not have that link?
Can you resend it to me, please? Because I don't think I have it.
Okay, make sure, Venus, I sent you a message earlier just to make sure that you're on the WhatsApp. You got your notifications turned on because you are in the group now. Okay.
Okay, yay, thank you.
Okay.
Bill, you sent that via WhatsApp?
I did.
Okay.
Hey, Bill,
I will post it right here, just so I'll post it right here as well.
Can I make
That's the link for today.
WhatsApp request?
Sure. I hope. Well, you can make a request.
It's just a request. Think about it. There was 62 WhatsApp, and so I end up scrolling trying to find stuff. If you could have one that's like just for links, WhatsApp links, I feel like we'd all know to go there. Like even this, I would like to get on because I need to be driving right now.
Yeah.
But I only have it on my computer and I can't figure out how to get it on my phone. And so I didn't have time to deal with it. But if we had just a WhatsApp link thing, then it would be like there'd be maybe 5 things on there right now. That'd be it.
Yeah. I'm going to see how I can do that, because I think what you can do, and I know Heather was helping me with that at one point, is you can put the links in the WhatsApp chat, like as a pin them at the top. And then I'm going to make a request. I'm going to make a WhatsApp request too. Okay. We have 4 WhatsApp groups right now. Okay. And we're using 2 of them the wrong way, and we're not using the other 2 at all. Okay. So I'm going to let's try to fix this. I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay. If you have an announcement.
Really quick, Bill, to answer her question on WhatsApp, if you click on the top, it'll say media and links, and you can go to all the links that's in that chat.
Beautiful. Thank you. I will work on that today, or I'll have my assistant work on that today. Okay. So WhatsApp.
Bill, can you please mute somebody?
Yeah, Ebony, can you mute yourself?
I got it. Okay. All right. Here's what my WhatsApp recommendations are. For announcements, put it in the announcements group. If it's not an announcement, don't put it in the announcements group. Okay? I'm guilty too. I'm fixing it starting in this moment. If you need help, if you have a help related question, okay, put it in the help group. If it's not about help, don't put it in the help group. And I'm going to kindly make a request right now. Both the growth group and the launch group have a WhatsApp group too, and both of them aren't used. So if at all possible, I would love to be able to re-enliven those two groups. Okay. So if you want to share things like, you have a question that's more relevant to a new agent or something like that, I'm in both of the groups, obviously, and I can help. But I'd love to have some more synergy between those two groups. Okay. So especially the growth group. That hasn't had a whole lot of chatting in a long time. So just a quick request. I'll hopefully we'll make small improvements little by little. Okay. Next. So reminder, I just posted the link 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock today. Again, love to have a great turnout with Andy. Okay. Okay. Next. What's up? Okay, who wants to share some news from Bold 100? Who did some extra work they're not used to doing? Who booked some appointments? Who's had some success from those initiatives or that initiative? Oh my gosh, guys are struggling today, huh? Anyone got any jokes? Okay. Anyone want to sing a song? Say a prayer?
Hey Bill,
What's going
I
on?
have something to share.
Okay.
From I was calling people from some of the smart plans I had, and I set up an appointment with someone, and I was talking to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, call me at 12." So I called her, and I'm like, she's like, "I know exactly where I want to be and all this stuff." So I'm like, okay. So I get on the phone with her, and I'm like, "Hey, just want to introduce myself, Markia with Keller Williams." And she was like, "Okay." She was like, "Yeah, we're working together, right?" I'm like, "No." She's like, You're Markia, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm already working with a Markia with Keller Williams. And I've already signed a buyer contract." And I was like, "Okay." So she was
Wasn't
working
you.
with it wasn't me. So she was answering all of my emails and telling me that she wanted to speak with me, and I called her, and she's like, "Yeah, but I'm already working with somebody. I thought you had more questions for me." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, let me know if you need any help."
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, if you have a relationship with somebody, I shouldn't be flirting with you. But if I've been the only one communicating with you and the other marquee at KW isn't doing anything, just let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, that's how it was. I thought it was pretty funny. I was
All
like,
right.
okay.
Thank you for sharing that. Hopefully everyone's smiling now. Okay, one last request before we hop into the objection handling. Okay.
Bill,
Yes, ma'am.
can I share something before
Please,
you
yes. Share some good news because we did this Bold 100 and no one wants to share any news.
Yeah, Bowl 100 was great. And actually before that, you and I was having a conversation before when we were all talking about our meeting, negotiating.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to share with the group today that that advice that I got from Bill, you guys on yesterday, I actually was taking that advice and took it to heart to call that agent again, even that morning. And I have been trying to find a property for some clients for a while, and we keep getting outbid and different things happening with multiple offers. But I can say we got it yesterday. So I did wanted to share that advice you said about calling them, just trying to be more friends, even with the seller's agent, really did work because we went under contract yesterday. So just wanted to share that with the group. And also Bowl 100 in the room is a great environment for everybody who just want to stay on task during the holiday.
Ah, love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so
Congrats to Wantis.
Thanks,
Great
love.
job.
let's do like a 30-second review of what that advice was. Does everyone would people like to hear that? Okay. When you submit an offer, the primary decision maker, although you think it's the seller, it's actually probably more the listing agent. Okay. Especially in multiple offer situations. Okay. So multiple offers come into the seller, and the seller is overwhelmed. They're trying to figure out, well, what do I do? Which offer is the best? How do I compare these things, right? And the listing agent has got a lot more influence than you might think. And so the phrase I used to want this was, look, you got to go to the decision maker and make sure they know the type of person you are, right? So I said, ask them, hey, I want to win. What's it going to take to win, right? I don't want to lose by a couple $100, right? My buyer loves this home. They're super well qualified. This is going to be an incredibly easy transaction for us. You deserve an easy transaction. Just tell me what I need to put on the contract. Okay. Then they tell you. And even if they blow you off, say, I was just trying. I want to win. You know what I'm saying? Right? Don't you want to win? Right? So then they give you whatever you need to get to win. And then you take it to your buyer and you don't force it upon the buyer. You just say, hey, look, if we do this, we're likely to win. If we don't do this, we're likely to lose. Is this a home you want to buy, or is this a home you want somebody else to buy? Right? No wrong answer, but I'm just helping you understand. My job is to help you understand how to win. This is how to win. Okay. Now, you don't want to make a promise, obviously, but you want to say, look, this is what they told me. I'm getting the best advice that's possible. Okay. And that was basically the advice, right, Tawantis?
And yes, was it? And actually, like I said, the main thing is that I called that agent as well before, but I called him again just to say, like, hey, he also mentioned, you guys, other agents did not follow his directives on what he wanted in the comments where they put, like, when you're going to have to be 0 days due diligence. He had a couple of those little comments, and he said, and I'm getting offers and they're not doing what I already said they needed to do. So another thing is just paying attention to detail sometimes on what they're asking, even initially. So you're not submitting something, and I try to make it super easy and fill out everything on the contract so people don't have to feel like they have to go and put it in themselves. So all of that went into play into that particular one.
That's exactly true. And even, I know this is a small detail, but even things like you call them and say, hey, what board of realtors are you a part of? And I'll just go ahead and put it on the contract so you don't have to do that later. The address that I see in FMLS is blah, 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 blah for your broker. Is that the correct address? Right? You just want to show them that you're thorough and you're a great cooperative agent. Does that make sense?
Yes. Easy. Make it easy.
That's right. Okay. I wanted to give one more person an opportunity. Yeah, she's here. To share some of what's going on in her world the last week or so since she started making some morning calls. Heather, can you speak for a second?
Yeah. So I've been going last week and this week to the office and doing calls with Paul, and Tawantis is there, Rose is there, there's just Michaela. There's a lot of people that come in and make calls. And last week, as a result of those calls and with some of my follow-up calls, I set 3 appointments last week. 2 of them I held, and then one of them's for later this week when both the husband and wife can be there. But it's actually that's 3 leads, 1 really good one that I didn't have before. And making the calls from the office it's a lot of fun to begin with, because the energy, especially Paul's energy, it's really cool. And I don't know. I think it's really a good program to come in and be around people and make calls, because it changes the atmosphere and the way you make the calls.
Right. And it, I don't want to say it's a game, because it's still serious work, but we're just having fun, right? We're making the most of it, right? We're having conversations. We're enjoying talking to people. Andrew, I know you've been a part of it too a lot. You want to add anything?
Absolutely. Well, the Bold 100, I made 100 calls yesterday, And then I started going through my friend contacts and stuff. I had 2 people call me back yesterday. One of them is one of my friends that has a friend that's moving up here from Florida. I mean, you like, all right, if you come into the office, for me personally, I just couldn't get anything done at my house. I was feeling like a big fat lazy slob. I just like finally came in here because of your recommendation for Paul Tully. Y'all, if y'all haven't met Paul or came into the office and seen this group yet, I would say it is so worth it to give it a shot and to at least see what we do for one day. And if it doesn't feel like something, you know, you can do, hey, at least you can say you went in there and gave it a try. But it is full of energy. We're laughing so hard that my cheeks are hurting in the office. It's pretty fun. Like, it's almost like you're getting paid to prank call people because, you know, so many of their calls are just like funny. And then, hey, one day you might get one that you'll make 15 grand off of. And you're like, dude, it worked.
Right. And that happened. Who was it that set, I'm trying to remember who it was that literally she had like 3 contacts before she booked a listing appointment yesterday. Gosh, who was that?
It was me.
Yeah, Victoria. Like she made like a handful of calls and booked a listing appointment in like 5 minutes. Right?
Yeah, he wasn't even interested at first, and I just kept conversation going with him. He ended up asking an open-ended question about appraising and was like, I really like you, so can you stop by tomorrow, me and my wife, so we can talk?
Yeah, guys, it's just putting in the work. It's just the more at bats you have, the more hits you're going to have. It's that simple. You know?
Yeah, and you know, something else I guess I'll add. I'm kind of terrible at it because I'm so nervous, and I've just not ever had the confidence to call people on the phone that I don't know and read through a script. It's like extremely terrifying at first, but you build that confidence that, I mean, I feel proud of myself now because I've built that confidence, and they seriously make it easy. And they're like,
yeah,
because it's the same thing you're saying over and over. And you're just like, this isn't even that hard. And
no, I mean, guys, we get to work, we get to work in the air conditioning whenever we feel like working, and we make $10,000 to $15,000 every time we're successful.
They have a drink machine. They got a coffee maker in there. Dude, it's awesome.
All right. One more thing, and then we're going to move on to objections. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. I also sent out a survey. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And I'm going to kindly request that I know, John, you took the survey. How many minutes did that take you?
The first one took about 15 minutes, and then Lee sent, I think, a follow-up one, which was much shorter, maybe 5 minutes for that one. They're actually
so Lee, I think Lee's been sending out this. I'm not even aware of that. Lee's been sending out, or I'm aware of it, but I don't know when it goes out. About once a month or so, once every 2 months, Lee sends out a survey essentially from Aubrey, and they're just trying to kind of get y'all's take on how the program is going and any feedback or that kind of stuff.
I got that one yesterday.
I just did that one right now while we were talking, but I didn't see the other one.
So I will. I'll send it one more time to you specifically, or check your spam. It went to spam for 1 or 2 people, but basically it's a survey. It's not going to take you too long. John has been the most thorough, and it only took him 15 minutes, and I appreciate that. And it's just an opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about the group, and dual career versus full time, and suggestions for making it better, issues with feedback or complaints or suggestions or whatever. Please just be honest. Just put what you want to put there. There's no judgment. Okay. For those that know me, or for those that are getting to know me, I'm very open to constructive criticism, and I'm very open to non-constructive criticism. Okay. I'm here to make it better for you. Make sense? All right.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about, last thing. Don't forget, what's our goal for the month of December? Should you choose to take it on? What's our goal for the month of December?
Make 100 contacts a day.
No, well, that would be awesome. If you make 100 contacts a day, all the days of December, you're going to be running this program come January. Okay.
Secure 15% of your next year's appointments? Or
Good. You're very close to what I was thinking. It was essentially the same thing. If you do not have 15% of your 2021 goal under contract by January 1, you're already behind. Okay. Because 2021, the closings that happened in January, they went pending in this month, right? They went under contract this month. So what our goal was, or my goal for you guys was, is to let's put something under contract. Let's go into the new year with something pending. Okay. So that we can have a deal that closes in January and we don't feel behind the 8 ball from the very, very beginning of the year. Make sense? Thank you, Corey. Okay. Well, we don't have that much time to talk about objections, but I want to throw out a couple of things real fast. Okay. This is a document. If you go into the just PC file and type in objections, you will see a number of things that are there, and you can begin to work on practicing some of those rebuttals, okay, or some of those conversations. These are a couple of kind of overview topics with respect
We're supposed to drop off the crap.
Oh, what? Are you talking to me? Okay. Don't confuse objections with conditions. A condition is a statement of fact that you can't do anything about. Okay. So here's an example. I want to wait to sell my home. Why is it that you want to? No, we don't remember, we don't ask questions why. Why do you want to sell your home? You would say, what's important to you about selling your home in the summertime? And they might say, well, I don't think, it's a good time to sell because there's not enough people looking for homes. That's an objection. That's a lack of information. And that person might be able to be, once he or she has the new information, might be willing to make a different decision. Another response to that could be, well, my divorce decree requires that I not list the home until this day. Okay, that's a condition. Ain't nothing we're going to be able to do about that. See what I'm saying? So you have to identify, is it a condition or is it an objection? By the way, if they don't like you, if they're not considering hiring you, they're not going to give you any objections. Okay, so the second you hear an objection, it is a clue that you're actually in the running. Okay, they're trying to make sure they like you enough to hire you, but they're pretty close. Does that make sense? So if let's say, Mary, if you present to me and I'm like, okay, thank you very much for stopping by, and I don't ask you anything and I don't hire you, I'm probably going to ghost you. Okay. But if I'm like, so tell me more about staging, or, what marketing are you going to do? Or tell me more about your social media plan or something like that. Right. That's because I think I like you and I'm just trying to make sure I like you enough to hire you. Does that make sense? Okay. So don't hear an objection and freak out and say, oh, they don't like me. It's actually the exact opposite. You just have to quickly handle it and move on. Okay. An objection is a question in the mind of a consumer. And by answering the question, you show your value. Okay. When your presentation is strong, you will get very few objections. So practice your presentation so your professionalism is showcased and builds confidence in your ability to help the client meet their goal. If you continue to get the same objection over and over, then plan your conversation to tackle that objection up front. Right. So let's say you don't say anything about your online marketing strategy. And appointment after appointment after appointment, they say, well, what are you going to do online? Just go ahead and determine what you're going to do online and make that a part of your presentation so you don't have to handle it every time. Does that make sense? In the fourth quarter GPS, I said, what was the phrase I used exactly? My digital marketing strategy is like, y'all, it's 2021 or it's 2020, almost 2021. People expect you to be online and have a strategic plan online. So go ahead and try to figure out what that is and be able to verbalize it in a couple of sentences so that it's impressive. Okay. Have 2 or 3 responses for each of the common objections, so you're prepared and you're able to listen rather than worrying about what to say next. Okay. Next, logic makes them think, emotion makes them act. So you need to use both when dealing with objections. Okay, go back to their motivation often to bring up emotions and keep them focused on what's important. So there was a line that caused a little bit of controversy yesterday. She's not here though. Oh, she is. There was a line that said that we were talking about a language skill called level shifting. And there was an example that the seller might say, well, I don't want to sell my home. I'm not going to sell my home for less than $500,000. And a response to that could be, assuming that you're in rapport with them. Okay, don't say this if you're not in rapport with them, but you could say, so what I think I'm hearing is it's more important for you to get $500,000 for this property than to go be with your children and grandchildren in California. Is that correct? So you're shifting the attention from the price and shifting it back to what is the effect of that decision on the actual motivation. Okay.
That sounds a little offensive.
That's why it was controversial.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I thought so too.
I don't think I could say that, man.
I wouldn't be able to say
I don't
that.
know. I wouldn't be
feel
feel
like a
comfortable either.
bitch.
Oh boy, woo, tough
I'd
crowd.
be like, what? You're fired.
Yeah.
Look, you don't have to use that for your life.
We need a debt.
Yeah, you win, Tawantis. All right. First of all, you have to be in rapport, and your client is not hiring you to be a yes man or a yes woman. Your client is hiring you to help them be successful. And sometimes we have to have tough conversations with our client. Okay.
Bill, but I mean, yeah, is this the second conversation or is this the 5th conversation or 10th conversation? That makes a huge difference.
Oh, this is like, I mean, the one I just used,
Yeah.
that literally could be like weeks or months into our relationship.
Well, that makes a difference. I thought you were talking about maybe your first or second, maybe your first or second conversation. Your initial.
No, this is like when an example of that would be you put it on the market for 500 and not a soul in the universe wants it for a month or two. And then they say, well, hey, we need to reduce the price if you want to get to California and be with your grandkids. And they say, well, I'm not reducing the price. So what I hear you saying is you'd rather have $500,000 for your home than be with your grandchildren. Am I missing something?
Or you could say, what's more important? Let's figure out what's most important, getting to California or the 500,000, to be the grandchildren or the 500,000.
That's definitely a different.
I think you could broach it at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna waffle a little bit. Yeah, I think you can broach it at that point.
We have to. How do I want to say this? We are the coach of our client. Okay, Mary, I just see you sitting back like this. I'd love to hear your take, right? But we are the coach of our client. We're trying to help them be successful. Okay. And what coaches do and what leaders do is we help the person think the way they need to think to get what they want. And if they're not thinking the way they need to think to get what they want, we have to work on their thinking. Right? So look, I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. I was just giving you an example. Okay. But I promise you it is effective. Okay. Mary, am I talking crazy here? Okay, good. When someone wants to work with you, you will hear objections. Otherwise, they would just have you leave. We talked about that a second ago. Answer their objections and earn the listing. Don't argue with them or get defensive when they give you an objection. Approve of what they say. Say, yes, I hear you, that makes sense, etc. Always affirm, right? The 3 words everyone loves to hear is you are right. Okay. Now, when we ask questions like why, that causes them immediately to be defensive. So we want to avoid questions of why. Okay. Ask a lot of questions to make sure you understand exactly what they're saying. You always isolate the objection and move forward. So an example of that would be, other than the fact that you'd like to interview 3 other agents, is there any other reason that you wouldn't decide to list with me tonight? No, other than the fact that I want to interview 3 more agents, there's no other reason why I wouldn't list with you tonight. Great. And then you move right into that specific objection. So you acknowledge it, you affirm it, you isolate it. Other than blank, 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 is there any reason we wouldn't work together tonight, start working together tonight? No. Okay, great. Then you address the objection. Okay. Handle the objection and be bold, get it closed. Okay. Anyone want any questions, thoughts on that?
I had somebody, I could tell that they were looking at me like kind of strange. They had some objections and they were interviewing other agents after me. And I could tell that they maybe weren't asking or they were thinking. And so since I didn't know what question to ask, what their objection was, I asked them, I said, what would make this a perfect transaction for you? Yes. What could I do that would be perfect?
Right.
And that changed the whole conversation.
Of course. And then they basically write out the list of the things you need to do in order to secure that deal.
Exactly.
Right. You know, there's all kinds of things, like a lot of times when they're interviewing other agents, they want to make sure your price is right. Right. So you could ask the question, you know, how will you be choosing are you going to be choosing the agent simply by the price they recommend, or are you looking at other factors too? Right. Because people will come in and I don't know if they do this intentionally. I'm sure some do. And what the phrase we use is they buy the listing, meaning, you know, let's say all the data supports a price of 400 and they come in and say 425, and the seller says, ooh, if I go with this guy, I can get 425. And they give it to the 425 guy, and then he isn't successful until he finally gets the price down to 400 where it should have been at the beginning. And then poof, all of a sudden he's a miracle worker. No, he just happened to be the listing agent when the price became correct. Does that make sense? So this packet right here, it looks like this at the top with like a big long horizontal black thing. Let me see what it's called in the Google Drive. It is called 40 real estate objections handled. I'll go ahead and post that in, I guess that would probably be an announcement. I'll post that in the announcements page. Okay, did I ruffle anyone's feathers today?
Not mine. These feathers are going to be getting ruffled all day.
I love it. I love it. At the end of the day, you got to ask them what, like Jenny said, it's how do I make this perfect for you, right? How do I make this the greatest experience you've ever had with a real estate agent?
And also
Right.
I asked them if they've interviewed anybody before me, which they had. And I said, what did you like about their strategy, and what did you not like about their strategy?
Yes. Or maybe even like, how come you didn't hire them? And they say, oh, well, he hadn't sold enough property, in my opinion. Okay, great. So that's something you might want to address, right? Or, you know, he came in here with a real flashy car and it, you know, was kind of pompous. Okay. Now you know.
I have had that before. Somebody said that about an agent that they also had, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you know, from all the stuff I saw online, this person seems to sell a bunch of luxury homes, and I just have a $300,000 home, and so I was afraid that they wouldn't take me seriously. Right. A lot of agents just go in there and throw up their resume on the seller and expect them to sign. Right. And sometimes they sign because they don't know anybody. Right. But what ends up happening is they don't get the greatest service. If you believe in yourself, if you say to yourself, hey,
why you keep doing that? I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you believe you're going to provide the greatest service, if you believe that no one's going to work harder than you, then you just flat out tell them. I mean, Jenny, I've told your story a bunch. You know, Jenny had well, why don't you tell that story real quickly about the big house down in Locust Grove when the guy said, you know, have you ever sold a place like this before? Go ahead.
I can't really remember what I said,
I'll tell you.
but
So,
okay.
So Jenny is interviewing for this big property down in Locust Grove, and it's like a 222-acre place with a big house and all that. And the owner says, so have you ever sold a place like this? Like, what kind of experience do you have selling places like this? She's like, no, I've never sold a place like this, but I'll tell you what, you're not gonna be able to find a realtor that's gonna work harder than me.
Yes, that's right.
And
Yep.
then stared at him right there with that little smile and didn't say a word until he said, okay, you're hired.
I think we have an advantage as individual agents to be able to say, it's me you call, it's me, I'm the one that does it all. You can call me and talk to me. And then also, if you're brand new, they get all your energy, all your attention, and the new agents know so much more about the computer stuff and like all the systems and all that kind of stuff than the older age. Well, to me, I think, because I don't know all the new stuff very well.
Well, first of all, you got to understand what they're attracted to, right? What makes them, what's going to be helping them make their decision, right? So a kind of a little follow-up to what you said a second ago, Ginny, is this idea of you, not only is it, what did you like about the person you just got done interviewing, or what did you not like about that person? You might say to them, tell me a little bit about the best real estate experience you've ever had, or tell me a little bit about any real estate experiences you've had that weren't that great, right? And what they're telling you is exactly, how do I serve you exactly the way I appreciate, and how do I serve you the exact way I don't appreciate, right? So those are two other questions. Now, you also said something about what was the very last thing you said?
About the computer stuff. Everybody I've been interviewed by recently wants to know my
the team. Okay, this is really good. So if you're a solo agent, you can describe what might happen if they work with a team.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
So for example, they say, well, you're a solo agent, and I'm also interviewing this team. Say, so do you have any, you don't want to say teams suck and here's why. You want to say, do you have any concerns about that? Right? And let them come out and tell you if there's any concerns or what those concerns might be. So if there's a little pain point, you can make it a little bit more painful. So they might say, I just really don't know how a team operates. You say, well, a team operates as everyone's got a specialist, right? You're going to call this person for this part of the transaction and this person for this part of the transaction. Then you're going to get shuffled to this person. You're going to speak to this person, and you may never see the person whose name is on the sign. Really what you're describing is a really well-oiled business.
Exactly. But and teams are great. Teams are great. But
right.
You can use it the other way if you need to.
Some people might not like to go from person to person to person. Right. So if you're a team and they say, well, I'm also interviewing this agent, and what you're trying to explain what the benefits of being a solo agent are, is say, hey, look, it's me all the time. I'm the one answering your call. Right? You don't have to get shuffled from place to place to place, right? And then the team would say, well, you're going to call this one person and you expect them to be available and do stuff, for you right away. I mean, they're going to be showing other clients and, meeting other people and other appointments. And, your voicemail is going to sit in their machine for an hour until they can get out of their appointment. We got somebody that's hired to sit there and take your call immediately, right? So you can describe the other side in a way that is less appealing than the service that you or your organization could provide. You see what I'm saying? Then some people will talk about like the idea of having a specialist. Like, would you want a stomach surgeon operating on your knee? No, you want a knee surgeon, right? So, hey, do you want an agent that spends half their time working with sellers and half their time working with buyers and working as your listing agent? Or would you prefer somebody who strictly works with buyers and sees 15 houses a day and knows the market better than an agent like that, most likely? You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful that you don't speak negatively about people. You can kind of create some concern or some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like some doubt in the mind.
Awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that is a good way to, awareness. You bring something to their attention that says, hey, this may not be the best strategy for these reasons, right?
It's all semantics. Yeah, you just go with whatever. Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's some drawbacks to working with a solo agent. There's some drawbacks to working with a team. Do you mind if I share those with you? Something like that.
No.
Yes.
Unknown caller.
What's
Sorry.
that? All right.
Corey?
Okay, guys.
Bill, I just had a quick question. I know we're a little pressed for time, but maybe for a future huddle.
Yeah.
I just looked at the December training schedule, and on the 15th, there's a new agent retreat. It said it's mandatory for new agents under 6 months. Maybe we can go over that at a future huddle. It's on the 15th from 1 to 2:30.
Are you just asking what's going to be covered?
Yeah. What is that? Just what's like what is that? What any idea what we could expect?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, my hunch is we're going to talk a little bit about some technology. We'll probably talk a little bit about, you'll probably get an opportunity to meet some of the vendor partners. We'll get an opportunity to meet each other. Talk a little bit about some business strategy. We've done those in the past, and kind of the agenda, if you will, has kind of wavered, just to kind of depending. I wasn't involved in that planning. I don't think we're going to drop your license or something if you don't come, but I think it is something that they'd like you to attend. Okay. All right, you guys, please don't forget 2 o'clock today. And I've got a lot of one-on-one scheduled for today. So please do me a favor. If you have not updated your numbers for November, just take the next 2 minutes and update your numbers for November. Okay. It's the end of the month or very beginning of the month. Everyone wants to know everything about everything from me. So don't make me say, oh, well, I'm still gathering numbers. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Proud of you guys. I'll share the details tomorrow, but we had well, hell, I'll just share the details right now. This month, and we're not even done with the month in terms of reporting. We have, let's see, 16 listing appointments taken, or 16 listing appointments gone on, 7 taken. Okay. We had 26 units close in our group last month. Okay, that's the most we've ever had. $157,000 and change of GCI. This group made $157,000. Our company dollar was the highest it's ever been. And our company dollar percentage of the market center's company dollar was the highest it's ever been. We grew by 11 people, and we've already added 2 this month. So our group is becoming attractive. It's gaining some momentum. We're starting to see some results. I am just so proud to be in business with you guys. So please keep up the momentum. Please keep up the energy. And I look forward to meeting with everyone I've got an appointment with today. And please make an hour out of your time to visit with Andy at 2 o'clock. The link has been sent out in the chat. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.